I'm going within today. Here in my mind, I'ma be okay. A little love goes a long way. So I'm going within today. I'm going within today. Here in my mind, I'ma be okay. A little love goes a long way. So I'm going within today.
Every time you say no to what diminishes you, you say yes to the life waiting for you. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Going Within podcast. I am your host, Reiki Master Sheena C, and I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of your healing journey. Wherever you are today, I want you to pause for just a moment. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Hold it. And slowly exhale. Release the tension in your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Allow yourself to arrive exactly where you are. Because today's conversation may challenge you, it may make you uncomfortable. It may even make you, rethink the way that you've lived your entire life. So today's episode is called The Power of No. The Power of No. And I know that that little two-letter word can make people incredibly uncomfortable. And that's okay. It can make us feel guilty, selfish, unkind, ungrateful, difficult, even. But what if I told you that your inability to say no is quietly stealing your peace? What if every exhausted version of yourself you've ever met was simply the result of too many yeses that should have been nos? So today we're going to dive deep within this subject. So let's begin. The word that changes everything. The word that changes everything. I think one of the first words we learn as children is no. I mean, does anybody agree? The first word that we learn is no. And ironically, it's one of the first words people try to teach us not to say. Be nice. Share everything. Don't disappoint anyone. Don't upset people. Don't make anyone uncomfortable. Smile, be agreeable, be easygoing, be accommodating. And, before we know it, we become adults who apologize for having boundaries. That's what happens. We say yes when we're exhausted. We say yes when we're overwhelmed. We say yes when we don't have the time. We say yes because we're afraid of being misunderstood. And then slowly, but surely, our lives become crowded with obligations that never belonged to us. So can we be honest here on this podcast today? People pleasing doesn't always come from kindness. Sometimes it comes straight from fear. Fear of what, you ask? Well, the fear of rejection, the fear of conflict, the fear of losing relationships, the fear of being called selfish. So we tend to overextend ourselves. We overforgive. We overgive, we overexplain, we overcompensate. And we we convince ourselves we're being loving. And that's me. I can relate to this entirely. But real love doesn't require self-abandonment. Real love is something that doesn't require resentment. It doesn't require sacrificing your mental health to maintain someone else's comfort. Absolutely not. Some of us have been performing kindness while quietly building resentment. Right? And resentment is often a boundary that wasn't respected in the first place because it was never communicated. There's something that we need to know today, okay? And that is every yes costs something. It costs something. It costs your energy. It costs your sleep. Waking up in the middle of the night to help someone. Sometimes your creativity, your joy, and your peace. I want you to think about how many times you've agreed to something and you immediately regretted it. Am I the only one here? I've done that many times. I agreed, I said yes because I didn't want to feel like an asshole. So I said yes. Then I immediately regretted it. Like, why did I say yes? I really mean no. Now I'm gruntled and my peace has been disrupted. You smile, but your body tends to become tense, right? You're now committed to this. But your intuition whispered to you, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to freaking do this. Okay? I don't. Your body is incredibly intelligent, let me tell you today. Very, very intelligent device. Biology, makeup. Your body notices when you're betraying yourself long before your mind even admits what's going on. And then eventually, you begin to have constant self-betrayal. And then it burns you out. You get burnout. Am I lying here? Can anybody let me know in the comments? Whatever platform you're listening on, let me know if you've experienced this. I think that many people, right? Many people tend to confuse guilt with wrongdoing. But they're not the same thing. Sometimes guilt simply means, that you're doing something that's unfamiliar, right? Not in the norm. Especially if you spent your life putting everyone else first. The first time you say no, I need to rest, you'll feel guilty. I'm gonna let you know right now. If you're a yes person, the first time you say no, you'll feel guilty. And those of you who are yes people and have began that journey of saying no, you know what I'm talking about. You will feel guilty. The first time that you decline an invitation, oh no, thank you, you'll feel guilty. The first time you stop answering every phone call, you'll also feel guilty. But guilt isn't always a stop sign. It's not where you stop. Sometimes guilt is the evidence that you're creating a healthier pattern. You're supposed to say no sometimes for your own inner peace. And growth is something that often feels like it feels uncomfortable before it feels natural again. Before you begin to feel like who you are meant to be. Okay? Imagine your life is a beautiful home, right? Your life is a beautiful home, beautiful. And every commitment that you make is a guest. Every obligation occupies a room in that house. If you keep inviting everyone inside, eventually what's going to happen is there won't be a space left for you. It's to the max. There's no more vacancy. There's no room left for your creativity. There's no room left for your healing. There's no room left for silence, for peace and joy. And then what happens is you wonder why you're exhausted, because you're not aware of what's happening in that moment. You start to feel exhausted. And sometimes healing isn't about adding more and more and more. It's removing what no longer belongs. What it is that no longer serves you. Right? So you must ask yourself, where am I saying yes while my spirit is quietly saying no? Who is benefiting from my inability to set boundaries? Right? And what would become possible if I trusted that disappointing someone else isn't the same as hurting them? Okay? We're just getting started here. Take a deep breath. Release it. Exhale. This is serious. This is very serious for your own inner peace and your well-being. Because this is something that a lot of really good people, really kind-spirited people go through. And I am one of them. So I can testify to that. I'm a witness to that. Because that's who I've been for years. Now, not taken away from my personality. My personality in general, I'm a kind, loving person. But the thing I had to realize was that can be taken advantage of, especially by narcissistic people. But just by people in general, that can be taken advantage of when you're so kind and loving. Especially considering that the world has gotten very cold. The love of many have waxed cold. And there's not many people who are genuinely kind. And there are predators out there who would take advantage of people like you and me who tend to have a kind, loving heart. So this is for us. This is for the people who are always kind and loving to others. And we carry that frequency. We have to learn to say no more often and stop feeling guilty for it. In terms of it disrupting our peace. Okay? So, no, the word no is a complete sentence. When I say no, I mean no. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Because I'm exhausted. I'm tired. That's a no. Okay? So, can I free somebody today? Is somebody listening that I can help today? I'm letting you know right now that no is a complete sentence, and you stand on that. You don't have to be rude about it, but no means no. You don't need a 12-minute explanation. You don't need to create an elaborate story. You don't need to invent an emergency or lie about anything. You don't need to justify protecting your peace. Someone invites you to something? No, I can't make it. No, thank you. No, that doesn't work for me. No, I'm unavailable. I'm busy. These are complete responses. And I know some people won't like these responses, especially if you have been telling them yes, 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 yes. Now, don't get me wrong. If it doesn't disrupt your peace and you see an opportunity to be of service to someone, by all means say yes, absolutely. Because then why are we even here if it's not to be of service to others? But what I'm talking about is something different. That no that I'm talking about is if it costs your peace of mind, if it costs your energy because you're exhausted, you should definitely say no. Okay? And people won't like it, and that's okay. Boundaries is something that reveal who respects you and who only enjoyed unlimited access to you, no matter the cost of your well-being. Right? They don't care if you have a headache. They don't care if you worked a full shift and you're exhausted. You have your family to tend to, and they still want more from you. That person doesn't respect you. They don't care about you. They only care about their needs. You have to know the difference and be vigilant and be discerning. Right? I used to think that boundaries push people away. I really did think that. Now I realize that boundaries invite the right people closer. Healthy people don't resent healthy boundaries. Okay? Healthy people don't punish you for needing rest. They don't manipulate you into abandoning yourself. Healthy people understand. They adjust. They say, okay, cool, no problem, no biggie. Get your rest. Do what you got to do. I'll find a way. I'll figure it out. They respect your humanity. Because boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. And you get to decide who enters and who doesn't. Sometimes the hardest no isn't directed toward other people. Okay? Sometimes the hardest no is directed towards yourself. No to perfectionism. That's me. Whew, my gosh. I struggled with that one. No to proving your worth. Struggled with that one too. No to constantly comparing yourself. No to overworking yourself. No to shrinking yourself and dimming your light just to make people uncomfortable. Just to make people comfortable, I mean. No to staying where you've outgrown. To carrying guilt that doesn't belong to you anymore. Or at all. Every healed version of yourself is created by a series of courageous no's. Okay? Let me say that again. Every healed version of yourself is created by a series of courageous no's. Something incredible happens when you begin to honoring your boundaries. You stop feeling responsible for everyone's emotions. You stop trying to fix everything. You stop chasing the approval of others. You begin sleeping better, getting better rest, like a baby. You begin to think clearer, laugh more, breathing deeper, your nervous system finally realizes, hey, you know what? I am safe. And maybe that's why saying no feels so powerful. It feels powerful. Because every no becomes an act of self-trust. Right? Like we talked about in episode 21. Every no becomes an act of alignment. And every no becomes an act of self-love. Okay? People learn your standards from what you consistently allow. If you consistently overextend yourself, right? People will expect unlimited access. If you never express your needs, people may assume that you don't have any needs. If you abandon yourself, other people will often follow your example. Teaching people how to respect you begins with respecting yourself. Let me say that again. Teaching people how to respect you begins with respecting yourself. If you don't respect yourself, how on this beautiful green earth do you expect other people to respect you? You cannot demand respect when you don't even have it for yourself. Come on. That doesn't make any sense. You have to respect yourself first, and others will follow. Okay? And before we end today's conversation, okay, I want to leave you with this thought. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. A version of you who sleeps peacefully, laughs freely, lives intentionally, protects their energy without apology, shows up fully because they're no longer carrying everyone else's expectations. That version of you wasn't created by saying yes to everything. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay? You're going to disappoint maybe a little or a lot of people. And that's okay. That version of you was created by finally saying no to everything that pulled you away from yourself. Because every no is really a yes. A yes to peace, a yes to authenticity, a yes to healing, a yes to your purpose, and perhaps the most important yes you'll ever say is the one you finally say to yourself. Okay? So take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Congratulations. Thank you for spending this time with me and with yourself. Until next time, keep going within. Because the strongest boundaries are built by the softest hearts. And the greatest act of self-love may simply be having the courage to say no. Okay? And before I go, I would like to ask for your help with the podcast growth by liking and subscribing on whatever platform you're listening on. Please leave a comment, a like, and share. This helps to spread awareness and reach the people who needs to hear it. So thank you so much for your support and love. I appreciate each and every one of you for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Stay safe, stay positive, Stay healthy. I love you. And namaste. Ciao.
I'm going within today. You're in my mind, I'ma be okay. A little love goes a long way. So